We're making history with the stock market. Today, I'm going to be telling you guys everything that you guys need to know about the stock market, how it's going to move, give you guys some plays, some news, and everything, literally everything, man. But we've been getting a lot of things like Amazon maintain a buy. You got Amazon or Tesla maintain an outperform. You got all of this news over here. AppLovin, which is a decent stock, but kind of not really, but is maintained overweight. But we got some other things like TLT. We kind of have some uptrend in TLT, which is the bond market. But with that being said, we do get the SPY going up a decent amount. And if you guys were in these plays yesterday, you guys made a lot of money, honestly, a bunch of money. We kind of, I mean, we could start from the jump, which is like 500, all the way up to that 546 level, which would have made you so much money. But with that being said, the question that you may be wondering, are we going to rally up? Are we going to rally down? Right now, we are looking like we're kind of going bearish again. And with that being said, with the stock heat map, I think over 95 or 98%. I think it was 97% of the stocks were green. And whenever it's over 97 or 95, it does kind of have a trend that we go downwards the next day. With that being said, just keep in mind that this is probably the greenest I've ever seen the heat map ever. But with that being said, also, I'm sorry, I'm saying that a lot, but we might also go downwards. We might fill some gaps downwards. But if you guys look and zoom out a little bit, we do have some gaps to fill all the way up to that 570 level. Just kind of, I mean, 570, I think, is a decent level to look at to the upside. I wouldn't look at the old highs, which is like 600, 615 all the way up to 650. I wouldn't really look at that right now, but I think if we do rally up some more, I think look at that 570 level for the next key level to see if it breaks or bounces off. With that being said, I do want to look at it to the downside for the start, but just wait maybe 5 to 30 minutes after market opens to really see a clear trend to trade up or down. Don't expect a big move like yesterday unless we get some bearish news. Of course, then we just fill some gaps downwards. We can even go all the way down to that 500 level, especially if we get some bad news. So keep that on your mind while trading today because we can go up or down. And if we go up, look at that 570. And then if we start going down, look at that 510 to that 500. But some key levels to look at. If we zoom in a little bit more, I will be looking at that 540 level first. And then after the 540, 545, 547.2, 550 is going to be a key level. And then that 560 next. And then, of course, that 570 to the downside. I'll be looking at that 532, 530, 528, 525.2, 523.5, 520, 515, and then all the way down to that 505 to that 504.4 and that 500 level to the downside. So we can move either a lot today and or just jump around just a little bit. But also keep in mind that China still has their tariffs on, so that can really affect some tiny stocks, not tiny stocks, but individual stocks like Apple. It can affect Apple a lot, especially because we're low key going on a trade war with China, but every other country we're kind of good with right now. And also look at Nvidia too, because both of these stocks are moving a lot with China news. Tesla can kind of move a little bit with it too, so keep that on your mind. But just understand that we might make a bearish or red candle for the day. But before we go to some other stocks, let's look at some news overall. So first off, March CPI report could be the last time investors see inflation easing. So this is kind of saying that we might not see the inflation this good for a while. So I mean, it's kind of just an article. Most active stocks, we got Nvidia, Intel, Tesla, Ford, and Apple. So keep these on your mind and on your radar. And next, let's get to some overall news, and then we'll get to some screenshots. So U.S. tariff increase. The U.S. has raised tariff on Chinese imports, showing that we still have an ongoing trade dispute. China is retaliating. So in response, China has imposed additional tariff on U.S. goods, including 15% tariff on coal and natural gas, and a 10% tariff on crude oil, effective February 10th, 2025. Some indexes, the SPY and the Dow, has both declined in pre-market as we've seen just a second ago. Sector energy stocks are under pressure due to China's tariffs on U.S. crude oil and LNG. Stocks to watch. So some stocks to watch is Apple, currently trading at 198. We can get up to 200 and maybe 210 to that 220. We'll look at that a little bit later. Nvidia is at that 115 level. We increased 18% yesterday. Amazon is at that 191. I'm pumped to see where Amazon goes because we can see it at that 200 to 230 level if we keep rallying up. Tesla is at that 272 level, which is crazy. I think right now it's at 240, if I'm not tripping. I think we just seen at 240. But yeah, but keep in mind that we're still kind of uncertain. But these tariffs did indeed give us a little bit of relief overall. So there's some things that you guys probably already know, but the China raises tariffs on US goods to 84%. That was a couple days ago. Delta pulls guidance with Trump's trade war, squeezing air travel, sorry. So basically withdraw its full year financial guide due to uncertainty surrounding the global trade and a stark sign of the turmoil rippling across corporate America from Donald Trump tariffs basically. Sentiment buy and sell signal indicators. So this is just a buy and sell since June 2022, and it's been the highest basically. So Apple, I think it's still kind of in the works, but they might have a tariff exemption basically, which is kind of good. I mean, you guys seen that $500 billion deal that they were going to do. Some other things, we got basically minutes of Federal Reserve's March policy meeting will be released, which is expected to clear some air about the central bank's rate and kind of just to see if we can get a rate cut or not. Walmart is slated due to its long term forecast for its business at annual investment community meetings in Dallas. We got some other things. You guys can screenshot this. Trump has officially placed 10% tariff on the I. Oh, this was basically if you guys want to really understand why this island got the 10% tariffs. So basically, his plan overall was to make sure that no businesses basically set up land or set up shop basically on this land so that they don't get tariffed. So basically, you just put a tariff on it just to make sure that people kind of thought that it was like a joke or something, but this is kind of like the surrounding behind it. So there's a little article I seen earlier. So if the iPhone or if Apple basically made their iPhones in the US, the price will rise to 90%, which is insane. So your iPhone will be worth $2,000. That's insane to think about. So with that all being said, let's get some price movements or price targets. Oh, it's at 262. I apologize. So for Tesla, to the downside, I'll look at 255, 250, 245, 240, 235.7, and 230 to the downside. To the upside, I'll be looking at 267.5, 270, 276.8, which was the high. So just keep that in mind. And then up past that, 280, 285, 290. 290 is going to be key. 295 in that 300 level. Maybe we can break it, maybe not. A stock down person looking at is Amazon, but we did get a big fall down. With that being said, I'll be looking at 188, 190, 192, 194.3, 197, and that 200 level for Amazon. To the downside, I'll be looking at 183, 180, 177, and that 170 level to the downside. Bitcoin is doing okay. We're back at that $80,000 level. With that being said, look at IBIT, some other stocks, MSTR. For MSTR, if we can go up. So watch Bitcoin and the SPY. This is going to move with kind of both, but it moves more with Bitcoin, but it kind of connects with the SPY too. It's weird to explain, but just have both of those stocks open. But with that being said, going to the upside, I'm looking at 293.5, 300, 302.3, 307.4, and 313. And past 313, look at that 320 level. To the downside, 281.13, 276.9, 270, 260, and that 250 level. This stock moves pretty fast. So be ready, be ready to shift when you need to. But with that being said, thanks for watching the video. Smash the like button, subscribe if you guys are new. Let me know what stocks you guys are looking at and if you guys want me to cover any more. Peace out, guys.